think needs to be taken as seriously. Allow yourself to have fun because your teachers control your grades. You gotta do what you gotta do. That also just comes with, again, building a connection with your teacher. It's gonna be teachers who literally should not be teachers, and they're gonna make your life miserable. My counselor basically told me there was nothing that she could do about it, but there's gonna be people, and not even just in high school, just in life in general, that are gonna make you feel like hey everyone, it's Maya. Welcome back to my channel where I do whatever the fuck I want. If you guys hear my loud ass AC, it has to be on because it's just incredibly hot, like, in my room. As you can tell from the title, in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys a quick back to school makeup look, and I'm also going to be giving you guys some high school advice. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into this video. I already did my skincare routine, so that's the first step to any makeup tutorial. Please do your skincare routine. It don't really matter what you do, just prep your face before you go ahead and apply all this makeup on it, because if you don't, a lot of the times your makeup will not come out like smooth. It'll look patchy because like you didn't do anything to prep. So go ahead and prep, put your serums on, your moisturizers on, whatever it is. This is also going to be a very budget-friendly makeup tutorial. Everything that I'm going to be using, you guys can find at Ulta or Walmart or Target or your local drugstore. If you guys want a more high-end makeup tutorial, I will. Now, not everything I use is going to be from drugstore just because, like, I don't really have a substitute for it, so yeah. The primer I use is, of course, the one that everybody uses, which is the e.l.f. It is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I was about to say poreless putty primer, whatever. I put this all over my face. Well, not really. I don't really put much on my forehead, but I'll put some, like, on my cheeks. If y'all see me looking this way, y'all know. There's a mirror right here. I'll just put, like, the extra. But other than that, I rub it in all on my face. And you gotta let it dry, girl. You gotta let it dry. I put like 2 layers of it just so it's like extra sticky. As it dries, I'm gonna go ahead and get into my first topic of advice, which is gonna be academics, because I feel like that's just, I don't know, I just feel like it's right to start off with that. I am telling y'all, like, high school, I don't think needs to be taken as seriously as a lot of people take it. Like, high school does determine your next 4 years of your life. After high school, it determines what you can and cannot do. I'm not completely saying go out and fail, you know, do your work, all that. But what I'm saying is to still allow yourself to have fun, because I know so many people who bombarded their schedule with so many AP classes from freshman to senior year to get into a specific school and still ended up getting rejected. So don't put so much academic pressure on yourself, because where you end up after high school is where you're supposed to be. So do not stress yourself out like putting all this academic pressure on yourself, because you're already gonna have pressure from your parents. You're already gonna have pressure to succeed from your peers and your teachers. So at least give yourself a little bit of grace. Like, if you get a B- instead of a fucking A, you're gonna be okay, girl. Seriously, it's not that serious at all. Anyways, the first thing I start off with when I'm doing my makeup is my brows. What I do is I'm just brushing them out, literally just shaping them. And then I take my concealer. I'm gonna take my concealer and I'm just gonna shape my brows out with them. What this does for me is it gives me something to work with. If y'all have thick ass brows like I do, yeah, I used to overdraw the fuck out of my brows. Like, in middle school, it was terrible, and this helps me not do that. What I'm doing is shaping my brows as if I already filled them in. Boom. It's not as even, or it's not perfect, but it doesn't really need to be perfect. I'm using the Morphe Brow Pomade in the shade Chocolate Mousse. My next piece of advice would be to be nice to your teachers, because your teachers control your grades. And if you're a class clown, I know class clowns that still like respect the teacher. Like there's a difference between being a class clown and being a fucking dickhead. If you're a dickhead, don't expect for shit to go your way when you need it to go your way. There's been plenty of times where like I've literally seen students like ask a teacher like for help with their grade at the end of the school year, and the teacher is just like they don't care to help you, like as to opposed to one of their better students who actually tried and paid attention to class. They're going to be more lenient to help them because you actually tried in my class. Like if you're just coming in my class to goof around, why would I help you when you weren't worried about getting your work done this whole time until now? So y'all, you need to be friends with your teachers. Like it may look like you're just a teacher's pet, but when it comes down to them final grades, like it don't really matter. You gotta do what you gotta do. There's plenty of students who can be funny in class, still put in their funny inputs, but it's obvious that they are like being respectful, like, you know. But yeah, like it's so easy to get on your teacher's good side. All you gotta do is ask them what they had for dinner last night. Like seriously, like you just have to act like you care. Like that's literally it, and just build a bond. Like answer their questions in class. Like if they see that you're actively participating, like it makes it so easy for them not to pick on you. Like that's, y'all think like not participating in class is like, or ducking off in class with your hoodie off is gonna save y'all. Like no, participating in class is what's gonna save y'all, because if you're the only one answering all the questions, she's gonna be like, okay, I need someone else to answer this question, and it's most likely gonna be like that for the rest of the class. Like if you just answer a few questions in the beginning, you won't have to worry about being called on. And I know for some people it's way easier said than done, because I know a lot of people suffer from like, you know, anxiety and things of such. But in that kind of case, you need to communicate with your teacher about your needs, because you can't expect your teacher to read your mind. Like they're just not gonna know if you do not tell them. So that also just comes with, again, building a connection with your teacher. But yeah, like that's literally the biggest thing. It's like, in my opinion, is gaining that connection with your teachers, because it'll make your life so much easier. And just talking to them about your hobbies, what you do after school, because if you tell them like, oh yeah, I'm an athlete, or like I'm on the dance team, or like I do robotics after school from this time to this time, when you come up like missing on a few homework assignments, then they're gonna understand. Like a lot of teachers, I'm not saying all teachers, there's some teachers that are really gonna give you hell and it's just nothing you can do about it. But there are teachers, a lot of teachers that understand. Like teachers are not terrible people, I promise you. Like once I'm done filling in my brows, I'll typically just go over it with the brow gel. Now we're gonna talk about dealing with fucked up teachers, because my whole high school I've actually only had one teacher where I literally did not get along with. I think she was my junior year teacher. I believe she was my junior year history teacher. If you were in my class, you know. Tion, if you're watching this video, bitch, you know who I'm talking about. It's gonna be teachers who literally should not be teachers, and they're gonna make your life miserable. And you're gonna walk into class, and there's just some teachers that should not be teachers, and you're gonna know when you know. My biggest advice to that is like, just do your work. Like if you do your work, they can't really say shit to you. If you do your work, you can talk all the shit that you want. Like you could talk the shit back, because it's like you're not failing, you're passing their class. Despite all the obstacles they're throwing in your face, you're still passing. My experience was, I was a pretty good student. I've always been a pretty good student. In this specific class, the teacher was literally just a bitch. Like straight up just a bitch. So there was really nothing I could do to leave this class either. Like I had talked to my counselor, and that's going to be the next topic, is counselors. I had talked to my counselor about this teacher and just telling her like, hey girl, like me and this teacher are not compatible. Like I can just tell, like the way this teacher speaks to her students, the way this teacher speaks to me, like we cannot do this. Like my counselor basically told me there was nothing that she could do about it, and I had to suck it up, and it sucked. But at the same time, because there was nothing I can do about it, I wasn't gonna give her the benefit of the doubt failing her class. So it was like, I'm gonna do my work, but you're gonna hear my mouth. I feel like everyone was really scared to speak out against this teacher, but I didn't give a fuck. I gave her hell just like she gave us hell, and I didn't care. And there was nothing she could do about it because I did my work. So now about counselors, y'all. Like I said, counselors, especially high school counselors, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. I'm not saying every high school counselor doesn't know what they're doing, because there's a lot of high school counselors that are actually beneficial and they actually care and they actually want to help you. A lot of counselors, they don't really care. Like, they don't really care about the students' concerns. Before I get into that, I'm sorry, the two foundations that I use recently I've been using is the Makeup by Mario one. I did a review on this and at first I didn't really like it, but the other day I did my makeup with it and it came out so good, so I'm gonna use this one. But an alternative for that one would be the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless foundation. Back to what I was saying though. Just like teachers, there are some counselors that fucking hate their jobs. I don't know who tells these people to choose the job that they do, but there's gonna be people, and not even just in high school, just in life in general, that are gonna make you feel like miserable for the choices they made in life. When you know your counselor isn't really doing anything to help you, at that point you kind of have to take matters into your own hands and help yourself. Talk to admin about it, talk to whoever you can about it, so like if you do have an issue, they can't say like you didn't try anything, you know? For example, like there was this incident with that same teacher where like she was kind of talking to me crazy, and I don't do well with people talking to me like they have no fucking sense. There was an incident where I was like, she had talked to me crazy, and of course I snapped back and she told me to go to the office. So it was like when I went to the office, I know it looks crazy right now, y'all, but it's gonna get straight. When I went to the office and I spoke to admin about what happened, they were on my side because it was like I had already took the initiative to talk to my counselor about the teacher when I was having issues with the teacher. So it was like I already did everything I could. I didn't really get in trouble at all because what she was yelling at me for was like crazy. I don't put makeup on my forehead like that. Another piece of advice I have, I know I look hit. Get close to the admission team. Just because you're close with higher ups at your school does not make you a rat, does not make you this. No, it doesn't. Like, get close with, as close as you can get with like the admin of your school. Because in like, again, in situations like I had, they're gonna be able to vouch for you because they know your character. Now if you're just some random kid that's getting kicked out of class every day, they're gonna be like, who are you? You're just a troublemaker, because they don't know who you are. So of course you're gonna put that stereotype on you. But when I tell you guys, the way I got through my 4 years of high school is literally just by knowing my admin. And like, my sister went to the school that I went to before, so it was kind of like some of the admin kind of knew me because I was her sister. Oh, I'm taking a powder puff and I'm just blending in the foundation. Some knew me because, again, I was her sister, but I still went out my way to make connections with the administration that I didn't know. And in the long run, again, it helped me because senior year, I literally, could you not, I had like so many I just had so many unexcused absences and tardies. So it was like, I was like on the verge of not being able to go to prom, like seriously. You see how much better that looks now that I like patted it in? Yeah, literally just get close with the admin at your school. They will be able to clutch some shit for you, literally. I was like on the verge of not being able to go to prom just because of my attendance, and like just because I had a good relationship with my principal, like it was so easy to solve the problem, like literally. Okay, so this is where I put my concealer. I put it directly under my eye. I meant to tell y'all, like, I don't put the foundation straight under my eye just so I can avoid it being cakey. The next thing I want to talk about to y'all is getting involved in school. That is essential. Like, getting involved in school will, like, you're lonely, you're feeling lonely to like you're not feeling lonely. Get involved in school. No matter how cliche it may sound, like that will automatically give you so many friends, but it will give you friends that have the same interests as you. So definitely join clubs and stuff. I wasn't really actively in a club because I played a sport. Nonetheless, like, do whatever you can to get involved, especially if you have like problems at home. It will make stuff feel like a lot better, and it won't feel so prominent, and it'll give you more time before you have to go home. Like, if you're not the type of person who likes to go home straight after school, definitely join a club or a sport, because that's will keep you out till like 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. So next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray my face with the Milani Make It Last setting spray to set my concealer and my foundation. This is my favorite drugstore setting spray. Oh man, I always forget to do this. I usually take a lighter concealer and just put a little bit in the corner of my eye. As I let my foundation dry, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. And I use this as like a cream contour. Here. My next piece of advice is going to be about friends. My #1 advice is to just like be yourself. Like, don't hang around people that just you feel like don't represent who you are, because in the end your friends represent you. And it took me a lot. It literally took me up to senior year to realize this. With my nose contour, y'all just gonna have to watch because I barely know what I be doing. It took me a long time to realize just how like people that you hang out with really represent you. So it's like when they do something fucked up, people are automatically gonna look at you and be like, what? Because these are your friends. And it's like, please, I promise I'm not like that. And then I also feel like you honestly become who you hang around. Like, even if you don't intentionally mean to, you do. Like you could really lose yourself in a friend group, like, too. Like, you could just get so comfortable with being around these people, you literally forget, like, your morals and, like, what you really believe in. Because it's like, when you get around these people, like, some people just want to fit in. Some people are scared of, like, rejection. I feel like for me, like, I didn't like, it was just like a lot like that ended up happening that resulted in me hanging out with the friend group that I did. And like, I fucked with my friend group for a long time, but it's like, it only takes one time to show you like who people really are, you know? Like, believe them the first time. Seriously, if you don't, you're setting yourself up for failure. Like, seriously. And watch how your friends treat other people. The way they treat other people, eventually it's gonna come to you. Like, seriously, I thought like because we were best friends they would never treat me or do the same things that they did to other people. That's a lie. Your time just hasn't came yet. Like, but as y'all seen, I just am blending out my concealer right now because friends is just very like straightforward. Like, you're gonna know what type of people you're running into and you're gonna know if they're good for you or not. It's just up to you to make that decision. I'm gonna just keep blending. Like, the key, y'all, just keep on blending. You think you're done, you're not done. Next thing we gonna talk about, y'all, we're gonna talk about relationships. I'm not against relationships in high school at all because I had my fair share of them, but what I will say is just don't expect your partner to be perfect. I made that mistake in the past too, thinking that putting my partner on a high pedestal, thinking like, oh my god, like, you know, they're human too. So like, all I'm saying is don't expect them to know what they're doing. Don't expect them to know how to love you because y'all are kids, especially if you're in high school. I can't find my other powder, so we're gonna be using the Coty Airspun powder. It's still really good. It's a translucent powder. But like I was saying, just don't expect your partner to even know how to like be with another person. I'm not saying don't do it, girl, because I did it, you know. I learned, you know. I did it. So it's like, are we still together? No, but I'm not saying that that's how it's gonna be for y'all. Just don't expect so much out of them because you have to understand you guys are still so young. Just remember that, like, you guys are just young. Like, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not the end of the world. Don't kill yourself. Please. I know it may feel like the end of the world as it's happening, but like, that shit will pass and then you'll realize, damn, I was just real down bad for that person. I just really like that person, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Next, I'm going in with the Juvia's Place in the shade Tan. This is just what it looks like. Another thing I want to talk about is your mental health in high school, because you might get to a point where you're like, what the fuck, I'm so depressed. Y'all, it's normal. Trust. I just say be okay with asking for help, because that'll take a lot of the stress away. Even if you don't know how to talk to your parents, if your parents are not an emotional safe space, find a trusted adult you can talk to. Like, talk to your favorite teacher. Like, seriously, they might be able to give you some advice. They're your favorite teacher for a reason. Y'all obviously connect, and they are not going to be like not there for you. Like, they're gonna help you to the best of your advantage. Like, I'm telling y'all, when I was in high school, like, I was going through so much stuff at home. Like, there was times I would just go to the nurse's office and just talk to the nurse, like, and just tell her, like, I'm sorry, but I just cannot be in class right now. Like, I'm just so emotionally not there. And she would understand. She would literally let me sit in there. So this is my face all bronze. As y'all can see, we got the color back. I'm using the Juvia's Place blush in the shade in volume 1. And another thing is also just try and give yourself grace as a high school student. That's another hard thing, at least for me. To this day, I still have trouble giving myself grace. But especially in high school, like, that's what I mean. Like, just don't try and take high school so seriously, because it's not like college. It's not like you're paying to go to school. So it's like you can allow yourself to have like mental breakdowns and stuff without it, like, you know, your grades might drop, but it's not like the world is over. Like, put some powder here to cut this. If you watch this long, you're about to get my lip combo that I be gatekeeping. So what I use is the Ruby Kisses lip liner in the shade Burgundy Brown. For this, I don't really care how perfect it is, because y'all gonna see. I almost rub it in to the point it looks like a matte lipstick. I'm going in with just a black liner, and that's literally all I do. I just put it right on top. Sometimes I go in with this, it's an e.l.f. blush. I lost the top. I don't remember what color it is, but it's just in this dark red color. Pat it on. The last thing I'm gonna talk to y'all about is drama and how to avoid it, girl. Mind your business. That's literally it. If you're not trying to make the situation better, shut the fuck up. If it doesn't involve you, shut the fuck up. I went through my whole like 4 years of high school without getting in any significant drama. The only like significant drama I got into was literally, that's literally the only drama I really got into. Like, if I went 4 years without drama, y'all can chill out a bit. Like, because there's some people that literally just always start in something. Like that one group, y'all know who I'm talking about. Like, it be that one group at y'all school that just is just in something. Like, anytime there's a fight, you already know what group it is. Anytime it's some drama, you already know what group it is. Don't be in that group. Your reputation is like so easy to ruin, and like, you need to have pride in it. Like, you don't want to ruin your rep, because it's then you have to go to that school for like the next 4 years of your life, and depending on what you did, you may or may not want to tell your parents what you did. Okay, y'all, so this is the final look. I turned my TV off. Anyways, this is a final look. I hope you guys did enjoy this video and you guys got at least a good bit of advice from me. If you guys did like this video, make sure you guys subscribe and turn my post notifications on so you guys know when I upload my next back to school video. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and close this off. I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.